When I say come with me to a limited government where we accept equality and build upon it, it's not because I've forgotten the history of this country. It's because my aunts and uncles were amongst the first blacks to go to a segregated school in Chesterfield, Virginia. My grandfather had to take them to school with a shotgun and go and pick them up with a shotgun. Yet, I have never been in a segregated classroom. I have never been told to sit at the back of the bus. It's things that people went through in the civil rights movement that I have never had to experience. So when I say come with me to equality, it's because we're here. How are we going to build upon it? When I say come with me to a limited government where we keep our Second Amendment intact, it's not because I'm involved in a militia and I want to overthrow the government. It's because my father taught me, guns don't kill people. People kill people. And a person without a gun is more likely to get in trouble than a person who has a gun. When I say come with me to a limited government where we focus more on people than we do institutions, it's not because I'm an anarchist. It's because I've attended schools where I was discouraged from doing my very best. So yes, I would rather reach a child than enrich a union. When I say come with me to a limited government where a liberal education isn't as important as hard work, it's not because I'm against higher education. It's because my father has worked his whole life. He owns his house, he's raised his kids, he gets race cars every single summer and hunting every single winter. He has got his part of American dream with little to no liberal education. When I say come with me to a limited government where government stays out of medicine, it's not because I want to see people dying in the streets. It's because 20 years ago, my aunt was diagnosed with Crohn's. And because of doctors and talented innovation, I didn't have to go undiagnosed. I understand the importance of medical care, but what's so important about having the care if the doctors don't know what's wrong with you? Now, I could say other things on healthcare, but we'll leave it there today. When I say come with me to a limited government where fiscal responsibility is demanded, it is because I have common sense. Been there, done that, and got the t-shirt with a 24% interest rate. I know what it's like to spend more than you make and have a crisis hit. This is a lesson that most of us learn, but we only have to learn it once. Too bad our Congress doesn't catch on. But when I say come with me to a limited government, it's not because I want no government. It's just that I don't want an overbearing, judgmental political class telling me where prayer is and is not acceptable. I don't want them telling them when I can and cannot put salt on my food. And I don't want to hear any politician that puts his hand on a Bible and takes an oath tell me that this country is anything less than exceptional. When I say come and join the Tea Party, it's not because I think the Tea Party is here to help black people. It's because when I come here, all I see is people. People who are fighting the same fight that I'm fighting, and may I reiterate again, when did liberty and freedom become about color? When I say come with me to a Tea Party, it's because I am here and I am in good company. You guys treated me awesome today. Thank you. This is a reason to celebrate. This is a very good reason to celebrate. See, we've learned. Today we've had a whole history lesson, and we have learned our lessons. We look at our founding fathers and we know that we have to fight back. We have taken from George Whitefield the idea of individual salvation. We know it's not the circumstances you were dealt that define you, but it's instead what you choose to do with those circumstances. And I am a perfect example of that. We know that the American dream will never be handed to us by a group of elites making all the decisions. We have taken from George Washington and his endurance. We expect a string of failures along the way mixed in with some major victories. We know that Washington lost more battles than he won, but we know the importance of one battle at Yorktown that meant everything. We have taken Benjamin Franklin's foresight and belief in people, So when I say, come with me to a limited government, it's because this country is worth fighting for. Because freedom isn't free, and sometimes the people have to stand up and make sure they can deliver freedom for their children. The great part about being around you guys is we know life isn't fair. We don't expect it to be. We know we won't always win. We don't expect to. But one thing we do know is when a hospital needs to be built, if the government gets out of the way, the people will build that hospital. We know if a church needs to be built, if the government gets out of the way, the people will build that church. And we know if there's a citizen within our community that needs help, if the government were to get out of the way, that citizen will find a flood of help coming this way. Because we live in America. And we know that we as Americans are capable of doing anything, including taking back the country that we love so much. We know it's going to be hard and it's going to require sacrifice, but this is the kind of sacrifice. This is the difference between our sacrifice and liberal sacrifice. Our sacrifice will be by choice, not by force. We will decide to change our government by first changing ourselves. And before it's all said and done, we will have no question at all if this is a Christian nation. Because the majority of Americans will fall on their knees and they will pray to God. Because sometimes you gotta get knocked down before you look up and realize through Him all things are possible. And we won't be mad, and we will not be mad at the politicians that put us in this place. We will be thankful, because while we can't see it now, they're hardening our skins for the fight ahead. And while they think that they're breaking our backs, they're only making us stronger for the fight. And when they think that they've won, they'll have to come to the realization that we have only begun to fight. They will throw color bombs and we will throw common sense. They will throw protests and riots and we will throw faith and nonviolence. They will follow Stalin and we will follow King. But this time, we will make sure that the winners write the history books. And on days like this, on perfectly clear, beautiful, sunny days where we come and we celebrate our independence, on days like this, we will gather and we will tell our kids the stories that we are currently writing right now. We will tell them the stories of the past, we will tell them the stories of the present, and we will dare them to write the stories of the future. But most importantly, we will take this opportunity to make sure that our kids never find themselves in this position. We will make sure that we put our kids in a place where they will always, always remember. Thank you so much.